Hi guys, Tink again. I have another idea for you when it comes to Thanksgiving. How would you like to have something at each place setting? Well, how about these little guys? They're super simple to make, and you can use just a few items. Pine cones that you find outside, like we did for Halloween, felt, some eyes, and some glue. I've picked 3 different colors of felt. I have my brown, my orange, and my red. I have my googly eyes over here. Now, you can use tacky glue if you're not allowed to use the hot glue gun or mom can't help you, or dad, and a pair of scissors. So, we're going to make our turkey. First, we're going to start with our felt. Our pieces of felt, the brown, the orange, and the red. So I have my pine cone, and what I've done is I've taken my pine cone and I've kind of measured the back so that it doesn't stick too far out from the sides. And I always have paper down because you just never know what's going to happen. So what I did is I took my felt, I laid it on here so that I could get an idea of what the bottom's going to look like, how wide it's going to be. And I kind of cut from that bottom and how tall I want my feathers to look on there. So I cut around about 1.5 inches above my pine cone. Now I can always adjust the height when I go to glue it too. So if I decide I didn't maybe cut it as long as I'd like, I can raise it up a little bit, or if it's too long, I can lower it or cut more off the bottom. Okay, so I also need to do that with my orange and my red. So again, measure the bottom so that you get the right width. And you can always cut more off. It's not that big of a deal. What's nice about this is you can cut it bigger and keep cutting it down if you want. And I kind of rounded it off at the top. See, I give it a little round instead of square so it starts off my feathers just right. Okay, so I have my brown, I have my orange. Now I need my red. Again, using my pine cone as my measurement to the bottom, I'm going to cut around that. I need it to face me though. And we're kind of cutting a square, but with rounded corners, because that helps us just get our feathers done faster anyway. Okay, so I have my 3 pieces, brown, red, and orange. Okay, now you can put those in any order you want. There's no certain way of doing this. Be imaginative. Use different colors if you want. Pink, purple, and green. I don't care. In art, in crafts, always be who you are and let your art express who you are. It's okay. Next, whatever you decide to be your last set of feathers. So on this one, my last set of feathers was my red ones. See, I had red. So my head will also match that last set of feathers. So we're going to take I'll do the same thing. Well, maybe I'll do it different. Orange, brown, and red or orange, red, and brown. Okay, orange, red, and brown. is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take brown, since that's my feathers, is going to be closest to the head. I'm going to cut 2 inches off in a square. So it's about 2 inches wide. It doesn't matter how long it is. We're going to fold it in half. Now on the fold, I'm going to cut like a long oval. Making it a little smaller at the top. I don't know if you can see it or not, so let's get paper. So it's a little smaller at the top and wider at the bottom. And it will open. So when you open it, it kind of resembles like an 8 or an hourglass. That's what you're kind of looking for. Bigger at the top, thinner in the middle. Then you fold it. And that will become the head. Okay, now I'm going to cut the feet. The feet's a little trickier. You might need a little help with this because they're smaller. And you can always make them bigger if you want. So I'm cutting about 1.5 inches to 1.5 inches block. Okay, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut the leg part first. See that? This part will become my leg. Now, 3 toes. We need some toes or claws. That's what a turkey would have. And they don't have to be perfect. Nothing's ever perfect in nature. Okay? And I have my first claw. I need one more. And like I said, doesn't have to be perfect. Just 3 toes. So they get the idea. It's a claw on a turkey, right? A claw. Okay. Now we're going to pick out our eyes. It's a pretty small pine cone and a pretty small head for my pine cone. So I'm gonna kind of want my eyes to be small. So I'm going to look for the smallest eyes I have in here. There's one. And it looks like maybe this one's one. Okay, I have my 2 eyes. 2 eyes. Okay, now we're going to take our first piece of felt, the longest piece, the back piece, and we're going to cut out what just kind of resembles a feather. So kind of like fingers. They kind of look like fingers. So we're going to cut down. Okay? And then it's just easier to come from the top again and cut again. I'm going to round that off. So it looks like, again, a finger, okay? And I'm going to just take a little sliver off the side of the other one, round it off again, and come back down. And I want all my cuts to come almost the same distance down, okay? And like I said, you can be creative. There is nothing wrong with that. So if you have an idea that may be a little different, but kind of cool, do it. Okay, let's see, do I have my cuts all the way down where I want them to be? Yes. Round this guy up a little bit more. So now I have my back feathers, okay? Now I'm going to do my red that I... Okay, so what will happen is we'll have this and we will layer these. See how it's a little shorter? That's what we're looking for. And this one, I need to be even shorter. So I'm going to take quite a bit off of this one because I cut it pretty long. We're going to make our little fingers on this one. I mean, it's simple, it's easy, but it's kind of fun. Okay, so there's my other layer. So I have my layers. How cool is that? So we're going to glue those together now. So like I said, you can use tacky glue or you can use your hot glue gun. I'm going to use the hot glue gun because I want this to be done quickly so you guys can see the end product quickly. Be careful because this stuff is really hot. So you don't want to keep pushing on it and holding it down because you're going to get burned. Okay? Get my brown on there. So look what I have. Now I'm going to put a good sized piece of glue on there so that it holds onto my pine cone. See? Okay. The next step that we're going to do is we're going to do the face. So you're going to kind of bend this, but keep it a little open. And what we're going to do is we're going to put glue on two sides of the prongs, the front and the back of one prong. Okay? Let's see how he sits. Okay. The back and the front. See? And now I'm going to take this and pinch it on there. Make sure it's straight though. So it kind of bends over one of those prongs. Okay? Now, a little bit for the eyes. And I mean, you only need a tiny bit for eyes. Be careful again, the glue. If you're using a glue gun, it's going to be really hot. So you're going to have to be very careful, almost dropping those eyes on there so that you don't get burned. Right? Now we have our eyes. You know what I forgot? We need a little piece for the beak. So I have a little piece sitting here. We need a piece of a triangle. So I'm just going to cut this to be a triangle. And it's a really small triangle too, because he has a really small face. See? Really tiny. And just a tiny bit of glue for his beak. And you want the beak to point downward, so your triangle points down. Okay? Like this. He's almost done. Now, his feet's going to come from the bottom, his claws. So I'm going to put some glue down here. Now, if you want, you can hide part of his leg behind the prong, or you can put it on the front of the prong. It's up to you. I'm going to try to hide mine a little bit. So I'm going to put it behind these two prongs. I'm going to stick it behind there, kind of getting it in between. Might need my scissors a little bit because it's hot. Let's see. There we go. One leg, or paw, or claw. And there's my other one. See there? Isn't he cute? And there you have your turkey. Aren't they just adorable? Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this. Remember, we're almost to the end of the month. And as far as I see, no one's had a subscriber yet. So you might want to get your friends to subscribe so you can win that mystery stocking. Okay, bye.